Ignatius Gannon's my name. I got involved with A.B.i in 2005. I had a brain hemorrhage in 2003 and spent 3.5 months in the acute hospital in Dublin, and then I spent 3 months as a patient in the NRH in Dunleary. I ended up after those 6 months it was that I got involved with A.B.i, and I spent a further 11 months in rehab in the National Rehabilitation Hospital. At the time, initially, I didn't know where I was. I even doubted my very existence, and you do that with a brain hemorrhage because you're scrambled, your mind is scrambled, and after a while I started to come around and I was able to decipher. But there was one particular moment that stands out in my brain after a few weeks, and I knew I was in a bad way, and I even said to myself, how the expletive am I going to get out of this? But it's really how the effing hell am I going to get out of this, because I never experienced, and most people with brain injuries will adhere to that or will talk about it in that way. But it took me a further from the beginning of the time that I had my brain hemorrhage. It took me 18 months to really understand where I was and what I was going to do for the rest of my life. But in that period, when I was in rehab, there was an art class. We done different classes, like we done drama, you done the gym work to get your body going again, because I had hemiplegia. One side of my body didn't work, and I ended up that I knew I wasn't going to be able to play golf anymore, but I wanted to do something else, and that time I got involved in the art class in Dunleary. And even though I never done it before and I was kind of right-handed, I had to go to me left-handed, and I often said my grandchildren could do funny cartoons or paint better than I would do, but I stuck at it, and I ended up being able to do a painting. And as we go along, you'll probably see the different things. But I got involved as a member in 2005 with A.B.i, and a couple of years later I facilitated a group in the Tala region for people with brain injuries, and I set up an art class about 6 years ago, and it's gone from strength to strength, using the knowledge I had from the brain injury that I had, that I was able to bring people in and say, look, it's going to take time. There are certain obstacles. It doesn't matter whether you're right-handed or left-handed. I was right-handed in the beginning, but I was able to kind of get to the degree that I could do a painting. And I even spent time in Italy where we sketched and drew out different outlines of buildings, and beautiful place in San Marino and San Leo, and brilliant for, it would inspire anybody to do a painting. But I got to grips with it, and I hope I'm doing it to the extent that people will appreciate the art. But it's a great leveler, and the whole thing about art, it made me realise I never thought I'd achieve anything ever again, because that's the way a brain injury affects you in the beginning. But there's plenty out there, and I got to grips with doing different things and achieving. Now I facilitate a group for people with brain injuries. I also facilitate a group for art, and you know, a couple of years ago I went on the board of A.B.i and I'm still doing that. Hopefully I can carry on and kind of train other people or motivate them that there is going to be a good quality of life in the achievement that you would have by doing these things. No, but for the time being, and anyway, my grandson is doing the video and he can show you a few paintings around that I've done. I know I'm harping on about that, but there's other things to do with brain injuries that by motivating yourself and other people helping you in the beginning, that you will be able to do different things. The biggest problem I had initially was, what would I be able to do? And you'll see in the overall video that I went and looked for different things to do within my area, because I couldn't drive at the stage and I wanted it to be local, and it was, and I ended up in the P&T club in the senior citizens. Once you're over 55 and I'm over 55, I was able to get into this club, and I went to the gym and, you know, did various things there, and I'm still going there to keep myself ticking over, because with hemiplegia, if you don't work the side of your body that's affected, it would seize up. So I try and keep it a level of fitness that would be suitable for me. This ended what I'm talking about, I'll finish with now, but I know I can talk a little bit later about the different things I do to keep me active. So I'll say goodbye for the moment. Hello, you probably know me from waddling up and down the stairs, but I work for an organisation for the last 10 years. It's a charity called A.B.i. My two daughters are running in the mini marathon. My grandson is filming me this morning so we can put it up on YouTube so we can show it to other members. A brain injury can be catastrophic if you let it, and mine was profound. Half my body doesn't work, but it's not about me, it's about the hundreds and thousands of people that have brain injuries. And some of us, or all of us, will know of people that have strokes. And no matter how minor they are, it affects your brain and it affects you psychologically. Then there's younger people, and you'd hear about accidents in Donegal. They're traumatic brain injury. 2/3 of all people are young people with brain injury, and it stays with you for the rest of your life. But the thing I'm doing, I'm not going to go on too much about it because I'm steep in talking and working about brain injury. But I will say to everybody, I wouldn't really wish it on anybody because it can affect you every way. Physically, I'm affected very badly. Mentally, I was as well. I still am, because you doubt your very existence. And people don't know enough about the brain. Is so complex. All the rest of us, all the medical scientists, all the neuroscientists have still to get to grips with your brain. But I'm not going to go on too much longer, but to say that I'm fundraising, and I have been doing for the last 10 years. And you might have seen me up here, but I don't come up only once a year. And no matter what it is, there was an old saying in Dublin, if you haven't got to hate me, a pardon will do. If you haven't got a pardon, well, God bless the whole audience, and thanks very much. what I'd like to say to people with a brain injury, there's plenty to do out there, and no matter how bad you are, it will take time, and there are certain things that just won't go away, but that happens in normal life as well. People get depressed, or they get different things that happen throughout their life. It's how they measure up and get their life on track again. To some degree, with disabilities, it can be hard, but I know through my own, you know, you have to be determined to the extent that you want to live your life to the best of your ability. And that's what I said in the very beginning, that if I could do the best I could, I'd be fairly happy, because I knew it would be an uphill struggle, but it kind of gets a bit easier, and the brain can actually loop and heal itself. And like, all the different things I've done is to try and tell people and show people that can still have a good quality of life. You can still achieve your dreams or what you felt before, and you can learn different things that you never knew you could do, and that's what I've done. And I'd like to thank everybody.
There are places I remember